Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Late Night Racing for, quite fittingly, the first night race of the season, round 2 out of 22. It is the Bahrain Grand Prix. My name is Luke Etheridge, and I will be taking you through the action once again after what was quite an interesting Australian Grand Prix, which saw the Mercedes of Total P's take pole position and the victory. A pretty much perfect round for him. Only points he could have got extra was the point for the fastest lap, and that actually went to the man who started alongside him on the grid. Paulie Orange started second, had a few front wing changes, and the Haas team are quite used to their drivers causing a few problems in real life. Unfortunately for him, got involved in a few incidents, finished in 9th, did get that fastest lap point. Those two were the class of the field in qualifying. Will they perform similarly today? We'll have to wait and see. It was the teammate of Paulie Orange and Denge, who unfortunately is not here tonight. He managed to get on the podium as well. He finished in 3rd position, so it was a very good night last time around for the Haas team, as we are now just waiting for the drivers to get ready. As you can see, 11 out of the 16 drivers are ready. One-shot qualifying, let's not forget, before the race around the Bahrain International Circuit. Quick reminder of the point system. 4 points for pole position. That is one of the main differences between this and Formula 1. You get the point for fastest lap if you finish the race. You don't have to be in the top 10. If you also finish the race and you qualified on pole position, you do get yourself a nice, lovely bonus of 4 points. And I'm sure many of the drivers will be hoping they can get closer to what we saw them get last time around, to the back of Total P's. It was total domination, really. Despite numerous safety cars, never looked in doubt that he wasn't going to end up winning that race. Here we go then, just waiting for the drivers to get ready around this Bahrain circuit. Few facts, first used in Formula 1 in 2004, and apart from the experimentation with the endurance layout, which left the track just after turn 4 and rejoined around about where turn 6 is, have used the same layout ever since. Quite a high-speed circuit. Expect a lot of slipstream in 3 DRS zones, which you will see on this qualifying lap, and that long back straight as well, turns 13 to 14. There is plenty of chances for overtaking in this race. Plenty of opportunity for a DRS train to become active as well. And let's see who is the lucky individual who gets themselves a streamed hot lap this time around, as the drivers are, of course, getting ready. One-stop strategy, some of the drivers said, might be a bit hard if you do start on the soft tyres. So even in this qualifying session, could be a bit strategical as to see which tyres the drivers are going for this time around. They'll just be getting all those ready right now, and I'm sure it's going to be a fascinating race. Who do you guys think is going to win? Can anyone stop Total P's? Paulie Orange was, as I said, the closest in qualifying. Last time around, those two were 9/10 of a second ahead of the rest of the field, and it'll be very interesting to see whether this time around anyone can get close to them. Those 4 bonus points definitely helping Total P's second place in that race. We're actually on board again with Andenge. We were on board with him last time, so we'll change ourselves to Jonathan Cox in the AlphaTauri then. You can see he has gone for the medium tyres, and most of the fielders breaking then into turn 1. Through 2 and 3, you need to be nice and careful. Don't want to take too much curb here. DRS open once again. You get DRS on the main pit straight and on this one as well, and then braking hard into turn 4, where you can quite easily go around the outside and take a few lines there. You'll also see drivers battling through 5 and 6. It's usually calmed down by the time you get to 7, where that curb on the outside can easily spin the car round, as it looks like Liam and NUF1 have already retired. Now we're about halfway through the lap nearly. Turn 9 and 10, extremely tricky. That braking zone for turn 10, if you don't use anti-lock brakes, can be very difficult. DRS open once again on the AlphaTauri, heading down from turn 10. Not really a massive overtaking opportunity, not a big enough braking zone into turn 11. 5th, 6th gear there. Turn 12 has caught many a driver out. You clip that inside curve too much, you will find yourself spinning off to the left-hand side. Turn 13, you can see Jonathan Cox not quite making the apex there, but keeping it nice and clean indeed. A long run now down towards the double apex right-hander to end the lap. Turn 14 and 15, you can afford to take a bit of a late apex here to go straight towards the finish line. Total P's fastest at the moment, quite a margin. Indeed, he's got at the top. Jonathan Cox was 7th, and I think I saw there Andenge was actually Jonathan Cox 8th. I do apologise. Andenge looked to be the fastest on the medium tyres, so that could be very interesting towards the end of this race. All the strategies could come together. There we go, Total P's again, and that is a Mercedes-esque margin at the top of the timing charts, I think it is fair to say. Paulie Orange in 2nd, KRC, Treminator, a good race. Well, a good qualifying for the Red Bull team. Only managed to get 4 points out the last time around, thanks to Treminator, so it looks like they could be doing better here. Andenge 5th, Energetic 6th on his LNR debut is 6th, Mars Attacking 7th, Jonathan Cox 8th, Fatality and Smitsky 9th and 10th for the Ferrari. Frog Lover in 11th has free choice of tyres, as do Gods and William Shaw. Cruxy, Liam and NUF1 did not set a lap time, so they'll be starting from the back of the grid and hoping they can keep it nice and clean. And as Jonathan Cox said, quite a few drivers agree with this, the softs are a nightmare around here. One-stop strategy usually consists of medium to hard tyres. Soft to hard is going to require a lot of tyre management in the early stages. Thankfully for these guys, we're running under the night time. In daytime, that would probably be even more of an impossibility. But with the pace Total Peace showed in that qualifying session, I think it's going to be very tough for anyone to get close to him tonight, but we'll have to wait and see. The start was a bit messy last time around, to say the least. Bit of a collision, I think, between a few of the reserve drivers, and Mars Attacking, I think, was involved as well on lap 1, so hopefully they'll all be able to make it round nice and clean this time. If not, expect safety cars and virtual safety cars as well to perhaps play a big part in this race, and if you get lucky with the timing of those, that could definitely cause some issues. So all the drivers will have got their strategies ready, won't be able to change a lot on the setup, only front wing changes and diff changes that they can make on the fly allowed after the parc fermé conditions in qualifying. Seems to be taking a long time for Liam, and given my confidence in there we go. See, I had full confidence that was going to load. Let's have a look at the tyre choices then for everyone. We knew what the top 10 were doing. Outside the top 10, Frog Lover, only driver to go for the soft tyres. That is an interesting strategy indeed. And Liam MD going for something completely different. He is going for the hard. We've had Breadstick join us, one of the reserves in the Mercedes. There's the strategies, and as you can see, 2 stops definitely preferred if you're on the softs, 1 stop for the mediums, round about lap 13 to 15. A safety car could save a few of these soft runners. They can just pull it along long enough. They might be able to make the 1 stop work, but it is going to be challenging for those. Total P's again on pole position. So a reminder, if he finishes this race, doesn't matter if he finishes first, last, or anywhere in between, that'll be another bonus of 4 points to add to the 29 he got last time around in Bahrain. Obviously only 1 race, so the exact same order as the championship. He's leading, Andenge 2nd in the championship after a 2nd in the race the last time around. He's the highest runner on the medium tyres. He could well be one of the favourites now for this race. Energetic 6th, we didn't really see him last time around as he wasn't in the race last time in Australia, this time last week around Albert Park, and he's actually spun it under the formation lap, so hopefully for his sake it won't disqualify him from the formation lap, as when it sends you to the grid that does cost you a bit of tyre temperature. He will be allowed to get going again and take his place on the grid. Not as harsh as rear left one, where of course if you do drop to the back of the field on the formation lap, that is it, and you will be starting from the back. So a few of these drivers will be glad that they've not added that. Mars Attacking, very decent job from him in the racing point to get into 7th place. Ferraris on a split strategy, Fatality and Smitsky. Neither of these were here last time around. And red number 27, Smitsky in 10th position. Number of Gilles Villeneuve, of course, famously, and more recently a super sub, Nico Hülkenberg. And who knows, with some of the rumours going around Formula 1 about how Vettel's feeling about Ferrari, who knows whether we'd see Hülkenberg back on the grid this season, perhaps even driving for the Scuderia. So there they are, just taking their grid slots. Breadstick, the final driver to take his position on the medium tyres. His teammate for tonight, Total P's, is at the front of the grid, and will it be 2 wins out of 2 for the Mercedes driver? Lights coming on then. We've got 3, we've got 4, we've got 5 lights here in Bahrain. And they are underway for round 2 of the LNR Championship. It's a decent start from KRC in the Red Bull, getting a very good run against Paulie Orange, who's not had a good start whatsoever in the Haas. There's a racing point off already. Red Bulls have jumped Paulie Orange, who's now dropped behind Andenge, but it's Total P's through clear. 2 Red Bulls of KRC and Treminator going side by side on the run down to turn 4. We've got a Ferrari. That is Smitsky spinning in the background, but Total P still in the lead. KRC has just got ahead of Treminator, and Den's trying to go all the way around the outside. He's had a good start considering he started on those medium tyres, and Paulie Orange finding himself under pressure from Fatality, another driver to have a good getaway. And Den's trying to go all the way around the outside now at turn 8. He's not able to do that, not able to get the cutback either. We've got some moves further down the field. Breadstick has gone up quite a few places as well. Mars attacking has dropped some. We will get the position changes. You can see there, Breadstick best starter, Mars attacking worst starter. William VB Shaw just getting forced wide slightly by that Gods, and that gives NUF1 a chance to get a run on him. But further up the field, Total P's checking out at the start of this race. Nice and clean start from him. Hasn't been involved in any battling. He now has a 2-second lead already over the Red Bulls of KRC and Treminator as Breadstick is moving up again, and that is Frog Lover. Not sure if we've had a spin anywhere. Jonathan Cox has actually dropped a long way down the order. Finished quite high up on track last time around. Got a few penalties. Knocked him down to 5th, just behind his Alpha Tauri teammate of Cruxy. But there we go. Total Beat is in the lead, and we've got a big battle here between Frog Lover and Treminator. He made a mistake. No, that's just the timing glitch. I do apologise. Treminator actually challenging his teammate round the outside here at turn 1. That'll give the inside for 2. And that is a swap between the Red Bulls, Treminator and KRC, swapping positions. You can see Andenge right on the back of them as well as he tries to make his way up through the field. Next couple of laps is when those medium tyres will start coming into their own. It'll be a very good position for him, but he's still enjoying things at the moment. Smitsky is into the pits in the Ferrari, out again on the mediums. He will have to stop again, you suspect. In the lead, you can see still Total P's on those soft tyres, and I know I'm talking about tyres a lot. As always in F1, they're extremely important, as William has had a spin contact with Breadstick as he's earned himself a 5-second penalty, and Liam MD is off as well on the hard tyres. I'm not sure if he was involved in contact as well. A few drivers seem to be struggling with grip here under the lights. I commentated on something in Bahrain the other day when it was in daytime, and a few of the drivers said they're not used to the grip around there, probably because the tyres were overheating. I can't see that being as much of a problem under the lights. It still will be incredibly warm around Bahrain, but track temperature, the artificial light does not cause anywhere near the increase in track temperature that you get from the sun. Nowhere near the same levels of energy. And Denge and Paulie Orange are both get ahead of KRC, so I do wonder the second Red Bull has made a mistake. Out in front then, Total P's fastest lap of the race. You can see the lead he's got at the moment as Fatality now looking to get past the Red Bull of KRC. The Ferrari moving up from his 9th place on the grid up into 5th position, and that might give Cruxy a chance. They're both going to have DRS here. I think there was a bit of contact there actually between Cruxy and the Red Bull junior and senior team, fighting it out at the moment with the Ferrari just ahead. Cruxy trying to go all the way around the outside. I think he's done it. KRC, ooh, there's a bit of wheel banging between the two of them, and I think Cruxy will just about have that position. And KRC tried to keep his nose in, as we see so often on this F1 game. If you do that, more often than not, you will spin Liam and Willem for sure in with damaged cars. Both changing to the medium tyres, both committing themselves to a 2-stop. No safety car at the moment to maybe save these soft runners. Total P is doing really what you have to do in these early stages. He's got to try and get away, build a bit of a gap, see where he comes out in 3 or 4 laps time when he makes his pit stop. Maybe though, he did say he might try stretching to the hard tyres. Was talking in the Discord earlier about trying to make this a 1-stop race, so we'll have to see if he's able to do that. And Denge definitely will be going for that medium to hard tyres for him, and he's going to have DRS on the Red Bull here this time around. Jonathan Cox further back, moving his way up the field past NUF1, past Mars attacking as well. That's a very aggressive overtaking point to go for a move there. NUF1 also getting past. Jonathan Cox compromised his exit slightly going for that move through the final corner. He was desperate to get up some positions. In the end, it may end up costing him one to NUF1. He's very late on the brakes. It's Jonathan Cox. I'll be surprised if he gets that stopped in time. NUF1 is still there, side by side. This could all go down to which one of these gets DRS. They've both actually got it. Because of Frog Lover ahead. And in the end, Jonathan Cox gained a place on Mars attacking, but lost one on NUF1. But again, the Alpha Tauri driver, we know he can pull off overtakes where some of the drivers don't really see it coming, and that is how he works his way up the field. He'll be hovering though, that he gets a few less penalties than last time around. And what did I say in qualifying about that turn 7 curb? You hit it on the outside, it does tend to spit you off. He is down, will be 14th place I think, because Breadstick will just sneak ahead of him there, but Jonathan Cox will have to try and fight his way back up once again. Not been as good a start to the race as it was last time around. He has dropped 8 positions. Out in front though, we've got a 3-way battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Paulie Orange recovering from what wasn't the best start from the Haas. Just seemed to get too much wheel spin in the initial stage. That allowed both the Red Bulls to get past him. The loss of momentum also allowing Andenge eventually to get through as well. Total Pease has got no problems with tyre grip at this moment in time. Another fastest lap of the race. It doesn't look like Andenge is going to be close enough. Cruxy though, definitely close enough to get ahead of Fatality. So one Alpha Tauri moving his way up the field as well. And further back, NUF1 on Frog Lover for 8th position. Both racing points still in the points. NUF1, the sole McLaren tonight, he is in. And we've got the first scheduled stop for tyres. KRC in at the end of lap 4. That's a bit early, to be honest. I expected maybe another lap or 2 for everyone, but here we go. He's out of the pits on the medium tyres in loads of nice free air. All the other drivers will be looking to see what sort of times KRC is doing. And Breadstick and Jonathan Cox, 12th and 13th place at the moment, battling like crazy. I think these guys are both really quick drivers from what I've seen of Jonathan Cox in previous leagues and at the start of this season. And Breadstick's opening lap was absolutely fantastic, gained around 9 to 10 places in the end. Unfortunately had an accident with Willem Shaw, and Shaw getting himself a 5-second penalty for that. Breadstick just dropping back ever so slightly. He's in 13th position though, not looking too bad at the moment. Back to that battle then for 3rd, 4th and 2nd position at the moment. Andenge still in 3rd. Total Pease has still got a lot of grip in those soft tyres. He has just checked out. Andenge hasn't had the best exit off the final corner. And now Paulie Orange, you can see, just close it up to the Williams. He's not in the slipstream, and he's going to have to go the long way round. That might make it difficult. Andenge compromises his line through 1, still gets a good enough exit through 2 and 3 though, and in the end there wasn't a possible move on there. The 2 racing points swapping around though. Frog Lover, we've just seen get himself a 3-second penalty, and Mars attacking moves ahead of him this time around. There's contact between them. That's not ideal teamwork whatsoever. Mars attacking being tapped by his teammate Frog Lover. That might allow Gods on the medium tyres in the Alfa Romeo to try and catch up as well. Both Alfa Romeo drivers were there last week. Gods 13th place, the last finisher out of the full-time drivers, and Liam MD retired from the race. Neither of them in the points at the moment, but with Gods being on the medium tyres, it might all come down to the end of the race and how they are looking at that moment in time. So there we go. Energetic 6 was looking very close to actually getting past Fatality there. That Ferrari, very quick start to the race from him. We're going to see any more of the front runners come into the pits this lap then. Energetic 6 and then NUF1, 2 VIL racing stablemates for their esports team. They're staying out for now, obviously being on the medium tyres. Any of these soft runners feeling the need to come in? No, they aren't. And Andenge a lot closer to Treminator as well at this moment in time. Is he going to be able to go all the way round the outside? He's just got the grip under braking at this point in the race. The 1-2 from last time around in the race, a 1-2 again here at the end of lap 6. And Andenge, great move round the outside. How much will he start catching up to Total Pease, who after only 6 laps finds himself 5.5 seconds ahead. Will Treminator and Paulie Orange coming into the pits as well. We've seen Frog Lover coming in. Only 4 drivers then out of those that started on the soft tyres are still on those. That is Mars attacking in 10th. Treminator and Paulie Orange, you can see here. And out in front, looking supreme at the moment. Total P's with that 5.5 second lead. But now that Andenge has got 3 of the Red Bull, I wouldn't be too surprised if the Williams starts eating into that lead gap. See another penalty coming up there, NUF1 with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Treminator does seem to be struggling a bit more there. You can see not threatening the apex whatsoever. Paulie Orange, if he'd had a bit more grip on his soft tyres, he might have been able to challenge all the way down this straight, but just lost a bit of traction coming out of 13. Don't think it's going to be too long before we're seeing a few more pit stops from these guys. Treminator's deciding to stay out for another lap, maybe just to see if the one stop is possible. Paulie Orange streaks by in the Haas, rear wing over, and he had some bad luck last time around. Started second here. He's worked his way back up though into a 3rd position. NUF1 still behind Fatality, who's not too far off the back of Cruxy as well. Might be the end of the race when we start seeing what these guys can do. Mars attacking. He's another driver who still stayed out as well. I think if they get to around about lap 9 or 10, they will be able to go on the hard tyres and make this a one-stop race, which would be quicker for them. Just of course, those that have started on the mediums will have much fresher hard tyres towards the end, so it'll be a very interesting strategy. And they do end up pitting a bit early. Having a spin perhaps, or any slight incidents, may just put you at a risk of a puncture. But we've still got all 17 runners in here. Ooh. And as I say that, we actually nearly lost one. Energetic 6 might need to come into the pits a bit early for a Code Brown there. He's had a problem. Not as big of a problem as Treminator though. He's off the circuit. Off the circuit at turn 11, I think that is. And I'm not quite sure what happened. I think he was trying to get going and the game's just reset him slightly and cost him a bit more time. So Red Bull had a fantastic start to this race. KRC was a very early pitter, so he's pretty much committed himself to a to a 2-stop, especially as he's on the medium tyres. And Treminator was up in 4th place, but he has dropped back as we are now seeing pit stops. Total P's in the Mercedes has just left the garage. He's on the medium tyres. Paulie Orange just about to pull in, and Total P's coming out. Well, I think he'll come out in free air, not too far behind in UF1, but far enough behind that he won't get the dirty air effect, which is slightly stronger on this game. That is 6th place for Total P's. Pit stop period working out well. He's on the medium tyres. Suggests to me he's going for a 2-stop because it will be a big struggle to get those tyres to last. Paulie Orange has also gone for the mediums. Treminator, this is what I like to see. I like to see someone trying something different. He's gone for the hards. Now Treminator will try and get those towards the end of the race then from now, I think. 21 laps, definitely doable. Shouldn't be at a risk of a puncture too much as long as he doesn't have any more incidents. Mars Attacking's also coming. He's going to have to be very smooth on these tyres. So Red Bull's 11th and 12th will get up who has pitted at the moment. None of the top 5, 7th and 8th, Gods and Jonathan Cox and Breadstick in 10th. The drivers still yet to go for a pit stop in this race, and which is now being led by the Williams of Andenge on lap 9. Be another 3 or 4 laps, I imagine, before these guys think about pitting and going on the hard tyres towards the end. He's got a 3-second lead over Cruxy. More importantly for him, I'm sure he's thinking a 14.7 second lead at the moment over Total P's. Round about a 20-second pit stop time here in Bahrain. You'd expect that gap to just start creeping down over the next couple of laps. But importantly for Andenge, he only has 1 stop to do. Looks like Total P's Paulie Orange are definitely going for the 2-stop strategy as Frog Lover has managed to take advantage of the DRS down the straight between 10 and 11. Gets past Treminator. That is up into 12th place, so he's pushing pretty hard, and I think by the looks of things Treminator is not actually in control of the car. A lot of ghosting going on there. I'm not sure if that's just a connection issue, but Treminator having a few problems as we've lost all the time in. Breadsticks in for the soft tyres. Breadstick on the softs, that's a definite 2-stop strategy for him. That's very interesting indeed from a driver who I believe started on the mediums. Anyway, we've got a really close battle out on track at this moment in time. It looks like 7th, 8th and 9th as Total Peas. I just caught the end of that scrolling through the field. Total Peas gets past NUF1 for 5th position. Gods, Jonathan Cox and Paulie Orange. One of these guys, that is Paulie Orange at the back, he's pitted. Gods and Jonathan Cox hasn't. So for this two-stop strategy to work, you need to get through the traffic pretty smoothly indeed. It's going to be hard though with Jonathan Cox having DRS off the back of God, so maybe Paulie Orange needs to think about what parts of the track he can do it in and maybe get a bit aggressive here. You can see just following the slipstream, he's going to stick to the outside, get a better exit on the corner, and he might just get this done on pure pace. Jonathan Cox still got plenty of traction though. It's moving across, and actually Jonathan Cox, that's a very early pit stop for a medium tyre runner, so I wonder if he's trying something different as well. Jonathan Cox then into the pits, hard tyres out, a bit earlier than I would have expected. I'd have expected another lap or two maybe for these guys. At the end of lap 10 though, Jonathan Cox into the pits for the hard tyres. He will be taking those towards the end. Total Peas has got the gap down to 11.2 seconds at the moment. He is flying around, fastest man on circuit, fastest lap of the race as well on the medium tyres. So this two-stop strategy could well work for him because he's just sived his way past NUF1. Paulie Orange just losing a bit of time. The longer he's stuck behind Gods, the more likely it is that when Andenge comes out, he will stay ahead of Paulie Orange, which is be really bad news for the Haas driver if he wants to have any chance getting a victory. That looks unlikely. Gods with a very bad exit though coming out of turn 10. Paulie Orange gratefully receives that 7th position at this stage in the race. Mars Attacking has also made it past Treminator. Treminator trying to fight off Breadstick at the moment. Not enjoying those hard tyres whatsoever. I think to get these to last till the end, you have got to be a bit careful, as we are now seeing the first of the lead guys on the mediums coming to the pit. Andenge in, Cruxy in as well. So that puts Fatality into the lead of the race from Energetic 6. You can see hard tyres going on there on the timing screen. Where are they going to come out relative to Paulie Orange as well? It's going to be close. He's just ahead of the Williams. So it's a net 3rd place for now for Andenge. Net 4th place for Cruxy, we expected. Though a lot could depend on how long can Paulie Orange go on those medium tyres. How good of a condition can he keep him in? And Breadstick, I think, has lost it coming through turns 12 there. That curve I mentioned in qualifying, you hit the inside curve, it can spin you towards the wall. Fortunately, didn't manage to get to see that, so he's out of the race. William Shaw really struggling at the moment at the back of the field as well in 60th place. We've had our first retirement then at the end of, well, towards the end of lap 11 for Breadstick. He is out of the race, so one Mercedes looking good for the victory, the other one struggling at the moment. Breadstick involved in that incident with William Shaw earlier on, and then hasn't been able to make his way back up through the field, and he will be scoring no points here tonight. Fatality versus Energetic 6 then. Fatality in the lead of this race. Will we see these guys come in now? And yeah, well, Energetic 6 might as well try something different. He's going a lap longer to have fresher tyres towards the end. We can see the great ding-dong as well. You'll notice the arrows on the timing charts between the racing points and the Red Bull of Treminator on those soft tyres, and it's important he does this if he's on the softs. Mars Attacking has managed to get ahead. We'll see where people are coming out after the pit stop period then. Fatality is going to be close with Cruxy. He's just going to come out behind Cruxy and Gods. Actually, there is quite a gap there. Might be close with KRC. He's ahead of NUF1. So most of the field, I think now, apart from the race leader and Gods, actually have done their one compulsory pit stop. So Gods and Energetic 6, think it will be this lap they'll be coming in. They are starting to lose a lot of time, and you can see Total Peas has actually nearly made up that pit stop at this moment in time. The Renault, he's just lapping there of William Shaw. That is why the Renault is ghosting, and there is Energetic 6, who I think almost certainly will come into the pits this lap and may actually come out just, I think, behind Fatality. That's where he was before the pit stop. So more like 22-23 second pit stop lost time here at Bahrain. Total Peas looking very good at the moment. 13 seconds He is ahead of Andenge. We know the Williams doesn't have to stop. We think the Mercedes has to, but he will be a lot faster towards the end of the race. Total P's getting DRS off Energetic 6, and he retakes that lead here at the start of lap 14. How long can Paulie Orange hold off Andenge? You'd expect him to still have the better tyres at the moment, so maybe this is just helping the Swede in the Williams. He's getting DRS, able to perhaps save a bit of fuel, save a bit of ERS perhaps, but the dirty air will cook your tyres a bit more. And it's not a problem tyre life wise, they'll safely get to the end quite comfortably. It's just a bit of a problem if you want them to be in a more raceable condition at the end of this race. That is where the issues can come every now and then. Got Cruxy there getting a penalty. Gods has also come into the pit, so that is now everyone done their compulsory pit stop. And there we go. Like we said, Energetic 6 has come out behind Fatality, so 5th and 6th place are ahead of KRC. Treminator way down in 12th place. He's had Gods come out just ahead of him at this moment in time, but it's been a good race so far from Fatality, I must say. Started in 9th position, quietly worked his way up on the opening lap, had a lot of pressure now from Energetic 6 pretty much before the pit stop, and it looks like this could go on for the rest of the race as well this way. KRC just 2.5 seconds behind on old and medium tyres though, so you'd expect him to drop back, and if there's any mistakes in this race, maybe from those on the mediums, there is still a chance of a podium perhaps for these guys, so definitely not over just quite yet. Fatality 5th, Energetic is in 6th. Other battles we've got throughout the field, obviously still this one for 2nd and 3rd place as NUF1 gets his warning for, well, time penalty for multiple warnings. I'll check the penalties for the lead guys if it's close at the end of the race, but nicest possible way, I'm not sure it will be, as Energetic 6 trying to go round the outside at turn 1, has to back off slightly. I think that was to ensure he got DRS, and it didn't work out because you can see that rear wing flap opening on the Ferrari. So at the halfway point, Fatality, very clever driving from him there, just making sure he was behind at the DRS detection zone, using that to just extend and stay safe for another lap. Fatality will be using more ERS and more fuel, you'd imagine. Energetic 6 might just be cooking his tyres ever so slightly more, especially when you are this close to the car in front. Although dirty air isn't as realistic on the game as it is in real life, otherwise probably wouldn't be the most fun game for league racing. Does have a slightly stronger effect than it's had on previous F1 games, so you do need to be a bit more careful and maybe a bit more racy to get past some cars. They are still pulling away though from the Red Bull of KRC, and the gap staying fairly constant to Cruxy up ahead, who's sort of in a world of his own at the moment as he just laps the Renault of Willem. Cruxy just driving around in 4th place, where he finished last time around, and you've got to say how things are at the moment. He's looking good for that, perhaps even a podium, depending on how Paulie Orange does on those medium tyres, because he's not really pulling away obviously from Andenge, which is what he will have wanted to do. Paulie Orange will have wanted to just get away on these medium tyres, but because he can't break the DRS range of Andenge, who gets it 3 times, let's not forget, probably one of the most powerful circuits on the F1 game. The only one I can think that's more powerful for DRS, of course, is the Red Bull ring, where half the circuit is basically a DRS zone, and Den's using it to good effect at the moment. As long as he's keeping his tyres in good condition, this is working out very well for the Williams. I think he knows once Total P's makes his 2nd pit stop, it's going to be hard to keep the Mercedes behind him, but he's just doing a good job at the moment, staying behind Paulie Orange, and I'd say he's looking very good indeed to get a 2nd position at this stage in the race. Further down the field, we have got a battle then. Treminator has managed to get ahead of Gods for 11th and 12th. We go on board with the Alfa Romeo, with the Schumacher helmet, and who knows whether we'll see a Schumacher driving for Alfa Romeo in 2021. I'm sure a lot of Ferrari fans would like to see that, but his F2 performances at the moment probably not quite enough to get himself a seat in F1, as Smitsky has got ahead of Liam MD. So that is Smitsky up to 14th in the Ferrari, Liam MD in the other Alfa Romeo dropping down to 15th. And you can just see Total P's in the background going through turns 1 2 and 3 as well. Won't be too long before he is lapping these guys. Fatality trying to break the toe early on, just covering that inside line. Is there going to be a gap fitting on the inside here? Just not quite. So Energetic 6 trying to go all the way around the outside. Again, Fatality very late on the brakes. I'm not sure that's going to be the best possible line. He's actually got a decent exit through 2 and 3. I thought he might be a bit more compromised. Feeling the need to go defensive. Once again, rear wing open on that Renault. Can he go all the way round the outside? This would be a fantastic move at turn 4. Can't get alongside to get that overlap that you need. So Stacey in 5th and 6th for now. I imagine the Renault is getting pretty frustrated that he just can't quite get past that Ferrari. He's sick to death of seeing the back of that, but at least he'll be able to pretty much tell you all the components they've got on the back of that car by the end of this race. And Denge as well, keeping that gap at round about 6/10 of a second. Next 2 or 3 laps, I expect to see those guys pitted, as Paulie Orange has spun it. And Denge was close to him, so I don't know if he was close enough for any contact to be made. But coming through between turn 11 and 12, so not a normal place you see a spin there. Paulie Orange has gone around. That has dropped him to 4th place and probably really ruined his tyres and maybe his race strategy as well. Liam MD, he's come into the pits. He was 15th. He will stay in 15th after his pit stop. So what does Paulie Orange do? Does he maybe think about going into the pits now and going for the mediums again? No, stays out a tiny bit longer. Got to say for the Haas driver, he started in 2nd place. It looks as though it's going to be another race where he can't quite get onto the podium at the moment. He's behind Cruxy and Denge. Neither of those have to pit. It's almost certain that the Haas driver will have to. Fatality is just a bit further ahead of Energetic 6 on this lap, so I wonder Energetic has made a slight mistake at any point. You've got battles as well. NUF1 not too far behind KRC at this moment in time, and I was just about to go Treminator and Mars attacking, battling for the final point, but the racing point is in for his 2nd and final pit stop. Putting on sets of medium tyres will comfortably take them towards the end. Can he manage to get himself back up into the top 10? Will come out ahead of Smitsky. William Shaw in for his final stop as well. Gets himself a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Now you see Mars attacking comfortably in 13th. I would not write him off for getting some points on those medium tyres. He will be much quicker than those on the hards at the end of this race, and will obviously move up a position ahead of his teammate as well. Out in front though, looking supreme at the moment. Lap 19 out of 29. He's just started. He's at the end of that straight. There's actually, there's been a spin, and I wonder, was that Mars attacking who's just made a slight mistake? We've got yellow flags showing. And he has dropped a long way down, so I think we've had a slight mistake from Mars attacking on those medium tyres. Perhaps not used to the warm-up, as he did start this race on the softs and went straight to the softs. And Paulie Orange is in the pits then. Paulie Orange in the pits for a 2nd set of medium tyres, his 2nd stop of the race. He'll be taking these towards the end of the race then. Coming out just behind Jonathan Cox in 9th position at this moment in time. Finished 9th last time around. 11 laps to go, 6-7 second gap at the moment. I'd expect him to be able to catch up to Jonathan Cox, but we know Coxie put up a fight in that Alpha Tauri, and he'll be doing the same again this time around. Another driver putting up a fight, KRC, he'll be coming into the pit shortly, and NUF1 will be hoping that he does, because he's starting to get held up by the Red Bull driver. NUF1 having another actually pretty good results. Finished 7th last time around, which is where he is now. Got to say he's looking good for at least a 6th place, as we've got a car off. That is William Shaw out of this race, and we've got ourselves a full safety car. Now this could change the strategy for everyone, because you'd imagine pretty much everyone is going to dive into the pits. Terrible timing for Paulie Orange. Did not work out well indeed, and this could ruin some of those strategies for those on the hard tyres. But everyone is going to come in, I imagine, if they've got a fresh set of soft tyres. Now is when you put them on. This is always a thing here. So Total P's that puts him back out in the lead. He would have dropped behind Andenge, obviously. Cruxy coming in. Is anyone going to stay out? I'd be surprised. Probably, obviously, Mars attacking and Smitsky will. Energetic 6 in as his Fatality. KRC, everyone. They've not got a choice. Paulie Orange, if he's got any fresh soft tyres as well. It's probably worth him coming into the pits as well. And no, he is staying out. Mars Attacking's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, so Paulie Orange stays out and will gain himself quite a few places here. Bumps up to 4th place. Now, he has gone for something different. Liam MD also getting a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. They'll have to wait until after the safety car to serve that, and you have 3 laps to serve a drive-through penalty. Otherwise, you will get disqualified from the race. Just trying to see where the safety car is at the moment. It has picked up the leaders. Total P's leading. Andenge in second at the moment. Cruxy third. Paulie Orange though on those medium tyres. Warm-up shouldn't be as big an issue as it would be if they're older medium tyres, but you would expect the soft to warm up a bit better. So, could either be a cork in the bottle, or this could be a very fascinating end to the race to see how he does. Now that they're low on fuel, softs doing 10 laps, not an issue whatsoever, especially given at least one, probably 2 or 3 of those will be under the safety car, and Mars Attacking is also coming in. I think the only people not to fit there were Paulie Orange, and I think that's it. I think Paulie Orange, the only person not to fit. Treminator, it's saying, is on 9-lap old soft tyres. I sincerely hope for his sake that is a timing screen glitch. Otherwise, he's probably going to get a puncture or have to come into the pits again this time around. So we'll have to wait and see. I do imagine that is a timing screen glitch. Lap 20 then of this race. Safety car for Willem Shaw having a problem. Well, a big problem really, going off track through turn 12 and 13 into the barrier. That means with 9 laps to go then, we're starting lap 21. Total P still in the lead of this race, but that big lead he had has been eradicated. He was able to take that second stop under the safety car. Most of those around him, apart from Paulie Orange, also taking advantage of that as Fatality drops behind Energetic 6, and that will have to get rectified pretty quickly. Well, was there a swap in the pit lane between those two that I've completely missed? Because obviously going into the pit stops, Energetic 6 was behind Fatality. We did see a timing change there, so was that Fatality dropping behind Energetic 6 because of a mistake, or just a swap back after Energetic 6 jumped in the pit stops? I'd be interested to maybe find that out. I'm just going to quickly rewind the stream to see. Yeah, actually Energetic 6 did get ahead in that pit stop period, so good work from the Renault boys. Perhaps Fatality just got held up, so I'll be slightly disappointed, I think, with that he got held up. Mars Attacking into the pits again. The more drivers pit, this game does like to have the field bunched up before it lets the safety car in, so this is probably better. Probably better for everyone, you could argue. Those on the softs, any worried they had about pace at the end of the race, getting eradicated lap by lap, and the longer it goes, as Liam MD, it's a time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he's actually retired from the race in the pit, so that is another retirement. That's retirement number 3 of this race, down to 14 runners then in Bahrain. The longer this goes on, the less time there is for Paulie Orange to get overtaken by those behind on the fresher rubber. They'll have no DRS until 2 laps after the safety car comes in. We'll see this time around. Is the safety car coming in this lap? No, staying out a bit longer. I think we've still got at least 1 more lap here of safety car action. That will leave 7 laps, so 5 laps with DRS. If Paulie Orange can just stay in range of those ahead, which will be easier said than done, about a second a lap slower, those medium tyres, could find himself in trouble. What could also cause problems, though, now that the field is bunched up, is the penalty situation. So we'll give that a quick check for the majority of the field. Total P's has had 2 warnings, and Denge also with 2 warnings. They both need to keep themselves careful. Cruxy, see there, 6 seconds of penalties. The longer this goes on, the harder it is for him to maybe stay on that podium. Paulie Orange, a nice, clean race. Energetic 6 with the 1 warning early on. Fatality, another driver who's kept it perfectly clean. NUF1. 6 seconds of penalties. Jonathan Cox, 3 seconds of penalties and 1 more warning. Treminator, himself also with that 1 warning. Gods, 3 warnings. 1 of those would have been for collision, so he's probably 1 away from a penalty. Svitsky's kept it fairly clean. KRC has that 3-second penalty. Mars Attacking has a drive-through, obviously, to serve. Frog Lover, under trois penalties for him. That is 9 seconds. Both racing points are going to struggle to get into the points. Liam MD is now obviously retired from the race. So, drive-through penalties. Frog Lover's also retired from the race while I was checking that. So, Frog Lover is out of this race. I'm not sure what's happened to him, but we've nearly had the pack catching up. KRC's been into the pits as well and put on a set of medium tyres. Has there been any contact under the safety car, I wonder? I'm sure KRC was on the softs. That would make sense. I think we will get the safety car then coming in at the end of this lap. The field, as you can see, is now lovely bunched together. Total P's car number 2 in the Mercedes, lap 22 of round 2. Not of season 2, of season 1 of late night racing. And you can see lights still on the safety car. As soon as that flashing light goes out and those lights go out, we'll get the message off race control that the safety car, there we go, safety car in this lap. Total P's very handy with his safety car restarts in Australia. Where do you choose to go this time? Because you've got to give that safety car enough of a gap to get into the pit lane before you catch it up. Otherwise that can cause the mother of all pile-ups. It'll be very interesting to watch into turn 1 what happens here. You can see how much they're all bunching up together behind. Will we see any 5-second collision penalties? They're usually quite common as well under the safety car. He's still in 4th gear, so I'm guessing as soon as he's got around this corner he's just going to change down gears and bolt it. There we go. Total P's has gone then at this point in the race. NUF1, Jonathan Cox just swapping around, but he's not got an ideal start actually, Total P's. And Denger's alongside him, Crooksy as well. We're going to be 3 wide into turn 1 here, and the Williams has got himself ahead. So Total P's, will he be able to fight back? And Denver just went slightly deep there. He's compromised his line. Total P's is going to try and just tuck underneath the Williams. He's going to have to go the long way round here into turn 4. Not able to do so. Trying to hang it off round the outside, and we might see Crooksy try and have a move back. So Andenge in the lead of this race. Total P second. Crooksy stays in third. Paulie Orange has already dropped 2 places behind Energetic 6 and Fatality. He's now got Jonathan Cox all over the back of him as well, as Total P's trying to go round the outside at turn 8. That gives him the inside for 9 and 10. Surely he's going to have to give that place up, and he does just wait for now. Gives Andenge 1 tap, 2 taps. Not sure the Williams will be too happy about that though. He's got the ERS fully active, and Denge is going to be able to hold off to this position. Squeezes Total P's. This is getting a bit rough and ready between these two at this moment. Smitsky picks up a penalty. These two need to watch out because they're only 1 warning away from a penalty themselves. Crooksy has a few. Energetic 6 and Fatality have kept it pretty clean though, and Denge going defensive very early on. Total P's wants to wait. He wants to have that slipstream, but he will have no DRS obviously this time around. So it is still very close. Further back, what battles has we got? Jonathan Cox has got ahead of Paulie Orange as Energetic 6 making his way past Crooksy to get the Renault up onto the podium places, and Denge and Total P still battling, and Denge just left the door open there for Total P's, who says thank you very much. So that is Total P's back into the lead of this race then on lap 24. But and Denge had got that covered off, but it just seemed to open up the gap at the last minute. Crooksy trying to now fight with Fatality. We've got Mars attacking into the pits. I wonder if he's been involved in an incident. Energetic 6 has gone wide then through turn 4. They're side by side of Crooksy and Energetic. 1 hand off the wheel for Crooksy's driver, who's clearly not happy with that bit of driving. Crooksy stays ahead for now. Fatality sends one up the inside, taps into Crooksy. Did just about get away with it. Wheel spin from all of them on the exit of the corner, and that allows Jonathan Cox through. He's up into 5th place. He's up into 4th place. But a split second there. Around the outside, though, you're just going to get shoved onto the curb out of turn 10. That allows Fatality to have a go back, and Paulie Orange watching all this going on in 7th position. He was 4th, let's not forget, before the restart. With some of this driving we're seeing up ahead, he might still work his way up the field because he's kept it very clean. Indeed, as NUF1 and Treminator, who must definitely be on fresh soft tyres despite what the timing screen says. Otherwise I think they'd have exploded on the Red Bull at this moment. 5 laps to go at the end of this one then. DRS will be active. First time they'll be able to use it is on the straights between turn 3 and 4, and you can see the grip. Paulie Orange just doesn't have it at this moment in time. NUF1 going to try the drag on the straight here, and Terminator's got the slipstream though on. He might be able to have a dive down the inside of the McLaren here. He's got past the McLaren. Is he going to get past the Haas as well? Ooh, I didn't think that was going to work. Bit of contact on the exit of the corner. I don't think Orange will be too pleased with that. Slight tap again as well. And in the end, Terminator's now having to defend from NUF1, who actually had the only one of those without DRS at that point in the race, and it all just calms down. Energetics up to 4th, then Fatality 5th, Jonathan Cox 6th, Paulie Orange still somehow 7th, Terminator and NUF1 still battling side by side. I wouldn't expect the McLaren to try that. Finds himself on the sand, not a lot of grip there, and Gods might even try and get himself involved in this. Gods looking to get Alfa Romeo's first points of the season. 2 leaders have gone away though at the start of this green flag period. 3 laps into it, only 4 laps to go then, and they are now 2.8 seconds ahead of Cruxy. Cruxy with that penalty needs to start gapping some of these drivers behind him. That is obviously easier said than done. You can see Energetic 6 not too far behind. Fatality though has lost a bit of time. A big amount of penalties cost Jonathan Cox a podium last time around, and penalties might also cost his teammate a podium this time around as well. Gap out in front though with 4 laps to go with 0.6 seconds, and Den's not close enough to really go for a move this time around on Total P's. Perhaps his best opportunity is forcing Total P's into a mistake, which would then get the Mercedes driver a penalty. Terminator trying to make his way past Paulie Orange. Orange still fighting for all it's worth. He's not got the grip. Terminator has DRS as well, but no ERS. Zandenge, he gets himself that 3-second time penalty. So if Total P's finds out about that, that will really drop the pressure off the Mercedes driver's shoulders. Thankfully for Andenge, she's more than 3 seconds ahead of the car behind, which is Cruxy, who also has penalties. Terminator not really that quick through there. He's gone a bit defensive into turn 8, runs way out over the curb. Surely that's got to be a warning at least. Paulie Orange trying to fight back. NUF1 just not wanting to get his nose stuck in there, and that's what's hard for these guys. Now that DRS is active, Paulie Orange is going to be a lot harder to pass than he was perhaps straight after the safety car when there was no DRS. This is anyone's guess to how all these battles are ending up at the moment. Total P's just about stretching that gap to about a second. And I think as soon as Andenge drops out of DRS, it's pretty much game over. Very late on the brakes there from Paulie Orange. I wonder if there was a tap as he locked up there. NUF1 just decides to sit back. Very wise indeed, especially considering he has no ERS, and I think no. I think Paulie Orange on those medium tyres is just having to push so hard. He's locking up the brakes, trying his best with no ABS, I believe, for the first time here. So not doing too bad of a performance. They got second in qualifying. He's got the slipstream on Terminator. Paulie Orange trying to go all the way around the outside at turn 1. That gives him the inside for 2. Nearly ends up spinning Terminator off, who's got front wing damage, so he's going to start struggling now indeed. So NUF1 and Gods really want to get themselves involved in this battle. Terminator goes very deep, and that might just give NUF1 an opportunity to get 2 cars in one move here. Not able to do so. Paulie Orange is still there. Is he going to be given enough space? He has been. God's still trying to get involved as well. If all these 4 cars end up facing the right direction at the end of the race, I will be astounded, because there seems to be a lot of moves. Jonathan Cox, talking of moves, he's now got ahead of Fatality, so he's up into the top 5. Perhaps he sniffs a chance at a podium. What you see there is ERS 8%. Once it's in that orange number, you lose a lot of deployment. Not all of it, but you lose most of it, so it's really hard to go for an overtake. Perhaps just needs to save a bit here. Shows how hard they've been pushing. But despite a safety car only coming in 4 or 5 laps to go, they've burnt through their ERS. This track really heavy on electrical energy because of these slow corners and long straights, which they're coming onto now. Penultimate lap of the race then, and then still just about hanging within DRS range, but it looks as though the race is heading the way of Total P's once again. Who will get 3rd place on track? Say Energetic 6, favourite to get it on penalties at the moment, but Crux is still hanging on in there. NUF1 has now got ahead of Terminator. He is up into 7th place. Paulie Orange in 9th position. He'll have Gods all over the back of him soon, so staying out on the medium tyres. It'd be interesting to know whether he had any fresh softs left, because that may have been an idea to pit, but perhaps felt, seeing as he just pitted, he didn't want to. Mars Attacking's coming in. to the pitch. Racing Point looking as they're going away with no points here as Jonathan Cox. And Crooks is out of the race. Crooksy is out of the race now. I was about to say Jonathan Cox has just got past Fatality. And I can't actually see. Where is Crooksy's car? Where has he gone off? Did he just hit that curve out of turn 7 and got off on the inside of the track, I wonder? Team Energetic 6 has got ahead of Crooksy, and Jonathan Cox had also got ahead of Fatality, and then I heard a crunch, and it's ended up with Crooksy out of the race. So those penalties, in the end, they're going to mean diddly squat for him. Who's going to take third place, though? Because Energetic 6 now has a bit of freedom. Jonathan Cox, just looking at his car, they all look undamaged. So if there has been any contact, there hasn't been any heavy contact to damage any of these cars. That puts us down to just 12 runners at the moment. Promotes KRC into the points. So both Red Bulls into the points, and KRC and Terminator didn't have they had an ideal start getting high up into second and third. Didn't have an ideal end of that first stint, but it looks like they are both going to be rewarded with points here as Paulie Orange tries to get ahead of Terminator. I just don't think he's got the grip on those medium tyres at this moment in time. One lap older than everyone at least around him. God's not able to challenge as well, so it looks like it's maybe all settling down for the first two places. Looks like it's all settling down from 6th from behind as well, as Gods picks himself up a penalty. 3rd and 4th place though, anything but settling down. I think Fatality just dropping slightly off these guys as Gods and KRC are actually battling here. Terminator and Paulie Orange, you can see up ahead. Don't know where to put your eyes on this battle at the moment. I think Energetic 6, barring the mistakes, holding off onto 3rd on track. Jonathan Cox breaking as late as he dares, and Paulie Orange not able to get close enough for Terminator. He won't have the grip on the exit of the corner. Gods holding on for now, but running slightly wide. Out in front though, Total Peas, perhaps not as comfortable as last week. After the safety car, he got passed by Andenge, managed to get back ahead, and it's a second win in a row for Total Peas. His 8th victory here in Bahrain. Andenge crosses the line in second position, and Energetic 6 brings home a podium in his first race of the season. Fatality jumping ahead of Jonathan Cox on penalties. We'll see who takes that 6th position. Paulie Orange taking it in the end. NUF1 7th, Terminator 8, Gods 9th, KRC rounding out the points just from Smitsky. Less than a second from the Ferrari, making it 2 Ferraris in the points. And Mars attacking will be the final finisher. But it's another victory for Total Peas. He got the pole position. He got the win. He gets the fastest lap. It's a perfect 30 points, 59 points out of 60 for the first 2 races of the season. And ends with another 2nd place. He is in 2nd in the championship, but already 23 points behind Total Peas. Looked as though he might have a chance of beating him today, but in the end Total Peas worked his way back past and gets his 2nd win of the season. Looking very good early on here. And apparently Frog Lover, in his own words, has done a Grosjean under the safety car. So I did wonder what had happened to see him retiring under the safety car. But there we go, a sight we're used to. A Mercedes on the top step. Not used to seeing a Williams on the Renault on the 3rd step. But a great job from Andenge in 2nd. And a great job from Energetic 6 to get a podium. Extremely close because of the safety car. So penalties probably had a bigger importance than they would usually do. Jonathan Cox, they dropped him down from the 4th to 5th, so that allowed Fatality to finish 4th. We've seen the top 3 already, Peas, Andenge and Energetic. Fatality 4th on his first race of the season. Jonathan Cox 5th. Paulie Orange started in 6th place, just pitting that 1 lap early. Perhaps cost him in the end. Did have to stay on the medium. Still a very respectable and clean race, getting him 6th. NUF1 is 7th. Terminator 8. Gods, his first points, and Alpha's first points of the season in 9th. KRC bringing home the last point. Smitsky just missing out. Mars attacking. 5 pit stops. Those Racing Point lads do like to keep the pit crew busy. Crooksy we saw retiring. Didn't see what happened there. He's still classified as 13th, but did crash out. Frog Lover crashed under the safety car. Liam MD retired in the pits. William Shaw made a mistake earlier on. Breadstick also retiring despite showing some good pace from what was a very exciting race. Perhaps less incidents less big incidents than we saw last time out, but that did cause there was a lot of fun once that safety car came out, I think it's safe to say. A lot of fun under that safety car. As soon as that came back out, that really changed everything. Made everyone come into the 2 stops. Worked well for Total P's on his 2-stop strategy as he was able to put on the soft tyres. Otherwise, if it wasn't for the safety car, he'd have had to fight Edge. Probably would have got ahead of him. Ended up having to get back ahead of him anyway. Didn't have the best of safety car restarts. Edge nearly Cruxy as well. Tried to make it 3 wide. Of course, it was an ideal race for Cruxy. Came so close to getting a podium. AlphaTauri have shown great form so far this season in the first 2 races, but are yet to get a podium. They'll be hoping they can get luckier next time around, when it will be. And I'm just going to check very quickly here. It will be the Vietnam Grand Prix. But just for you guys, I'm going to check whether that will be a night race. Because it's called late night racing. The settings are, if the game allows a night race, we get to have a night race. So I'll check this, guys, for you now. I mean, someone who was prepared would have checked it before. But, you know, you've come to expect that now. We'll have to see. Can you do a night race at Vietnam? You can't, so it won't be a night race. It will be at sunset, though, around the Vietnam circuit. Used to F1 2020, not a circuit a lot of the drivers enjoy, from drivers I spoke to in other leagues, so it will be interesting to see how it goes around Hanoi. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back next week. I might have a co-commentator as well next week. You'll have to wait and see to find out who that will be. But for myself, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time around.